Number of Americans making their holiday purchases online. I'm Michael George at an Amazon fulfillment center to see how the tech giant is handling a boost in sales.
The warning signs for Black Friday online scams. And a Mr. Food recipe designed to give your Thanksgiving leftovers a popping makeover.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
With Thanksgiving over, Americans are turning their attention to Christmas and the kickoff of the holiday shopping season. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Tapping our first 7 minutes. Black Friday is different this year, but as Michael George reports, Americans are ready to spend.
The line formed in the dark outside a New York Best Buy.
We're just waiting online for the PS5, but we're not sure if it's even in stock, but we're just here hoping.
Jordan Flores arrived at 2 a.m. expecting a crowd.
When I first got here, there were about 5 or 6 people here. I know when I did Black Friday shopping a few years ago, usually around 1 or 2 a.m., there's already a crowd of 30 or 40 people.
This couple got a deal on a new TV.
There's nobody, so it was smooth. We just walked in and we literally walked out in 5 minutes.
The pandemic is keeping many Americans at home, but die-hard shoppers ventured out for the official start of the holiday shopping season. The National Retail Federation expects sales to increase between 3.6 and 5.2% this year, with stores raking in up to $767 billion.
Millions will be doing their Black Friday shopping at home, and online retailers like Amazon are expecting a huge jump in sales.
At the company's Staten Island fulfillment center, Kate Scarpa said they're ready for the holiday rush.
We really prepare all year long for the holiday season, both in terms of gifts and making sure that we have enough for our customers across a wide variety, and also preparedness to ensure that we can really deliver and gifts arrive at customers' doorsteps right on time.
Marketing experts say smart shopping is all in the timing.
Black Friday is going to be your best day to get deals on categories like TVs and appliances. But if you're in the market for toys or computers, you'll want to wait till the weekend following Thanksgiving.
At Best Buy, the PlayStation 5 is a hot item.
I had to stay all night, and then 5:21, I booked it.
A little retail therapy during these anxious times. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Well, many consumers started their holiday shopping weeks ago since major retailers began their promotions in October. Well, Mother Nature brought back the chill just in time for Black Friday shopping, early this morning especially. Michael Hayslip joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, but you know, when it comes to me and Mother Nature, you know what we like to say?
She be fickle.
No, I was going to say let it go.
Oh.
Let it go.
Oh, no. Well, if you don't, it might turn into Frozen.
The KOAM toy box is back, and we'll jump into that in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, where early morning cloud cover has now dissipated and moved off to the southeast. We've got nothing but clear blue sky for the rest of our Friday afternoon. Freeman Health System Sky Camera in Joplin, 51 degrees. Now, a large part of that is because what our winds did earlier this morning, a complete shift as they now work in from the north, and that's what's going to keep us from getting up into the 60s like what we had on what was absolutely a delightful Thanksgiving. Now, as far as our PM afternoon planner goes, you'll notice that average high, about 53 degrees up there. Well, it's about time that we got a little normalized because we got spoiled at the beginning of the month, and now we're going to finish off the end of November just riding into the 50s. One thing to talk about as we push into the weekend, you'll notice Saturday night formulation of some light rain down in Oklahoma, and we'll see it intrude upon the 4 states very early Sunday morning, more so for the south and central portions. Up north, you're going to remain dry, but I think the key factor here, Tanya, is as we get ready to talk about December, overnight lows consistently drop below the freezing point. Coming here in just a little bit, let's talk about the national perspective because our jet stream is an absolute mess, feeding us some high pressure. So it's delightful here. That's not the case to the southeast. That's not the case out in the west.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, as the pandemic continues, nonprofits across the 4 states continue to make changes, and that includes the Salvation Army, which is gearing up for its annual Christmas Assistance Program. Earlier this month, the Salvation Army of Jasper and Newton County held sign-ups for the annual Christmas Assistance Program, where families in need get a meal for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and kids get gifts. The organization says it signed up 534 kids and more than 1,200 families. A drive-through Christmas distribution is planned for December 22nd. And if you still need help, there are several of our Toy Box partners who are still taking applications. Newton County Christmas for Kids goes until December 10th. Cherokee County Toy Box is taking applications until December 15th. And you can find more information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, our annual Toy Box campaign is officially underway. Each year we ask for donations of toys and money to buy toys to give to area kids in need. You can donate 24/7 online at KOAMnewsnow.com or at one of our listed drop-off locations. You can also donate by phone during our Toy Box Tuesday telethons starting next Tuesday at noon, 5 and 6. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, COVID-19 has many doing their holiday shopping in front of a computer screen. But buyer beware, some of those Black Friday deals could turn out to be duds. And later, we're making Thanksgiving leftover poppers in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Americans have shattered records for online shopping since the pandemic began, and some analysts predict online sales could hit $10 billion today and reach nearly $190 billion over the holiday season. But the Federal Trade Commission says cybercrime involving social media has more than tripled in the last year. Anna Warner shows us the danger signs.
I've learned my lesson.
Tennessee great-grandmother Debbie Jackson says she learned how someone can fall for an online scam. It started when she ordered a special Christmas present for her 2-year-old great-grandson, Asher, a gift of a 3-foot-tall toy dinosaur.
That's the other Facebook page that the same ad was on.
This ad on Facebook showed kids riding the dinosaur. So Jackson says she ordered one for roughly $200 through the seller's Facebook page. Christina Lewis is Asher's mom.
It was supposed to be a riding dinosaur that had a little button that he could press and it would make noises and be interactive. And so we were like, awesome, this is great. He's going to love it for Christmas.
But when the toy arrived in Florida,
it is a stuffed animal about this big. Didn't even look like the dinosaur.
And so what do you call that?
It's a scam for sure.
The real toy comes from Play School and the commercial is theirs too. But Lewis says it appears the scammers used the real ad to sell that cheap, much smaller knockoff.
It's really upsetting that there's scammers out there that are just putting a bad taste in people's mouth about online shopping.
I was really on Facebook and Instagram, just kind of scrolling.
Christina White from Irving, Texas, saw an ad from what she thought was a legitimate seller on Facebook marketing a body slimming cream.
It brought me up to the site. I looked at it, read a couple of the reviews, and I was like, okay, seems legitimate. Let me go ahead and try it. You know, it's $26 What do I have to lose?
What she lost, she says, was close to $25. The product never arrived. Those stories are being heard more often during the pandemic, says Judith Bitterly from security firm McAfee.
What we know is that cyber criminals follow the money, and the money is online now.
Her company found cybercrime up 12% since April. 419 cyber threats per minute.
So it's a barrage.
It is a barrage.
And she says criminals aren't just after the cash. Through gift card scams and fake websites, they try to trick consumers into giving up their private information.
Customers will see a deal that may be too good to be true, priced really low. They'll go there, and ultimately their personal information will end up on the dark web or being stolen. They're after the money, and your identity is valuable.
Since many scams start on social media, Facebook is now teaming up with the Better Business Bureau to warn online shoppers, donating $75,000 worth of ad space to the BBB for ads like these. Facebook's Sarah Schiff.
Our systems are constantly improving, and we're evolving our policies to get ahead of people trying to scam people out of money and break our rules.
But Debbie Jackson says her experience on Facebook has made her skeptical.
They've got more money than God. Why in the world would they not be able to find a problem? Because that isn't the first time. I mean, it's the first time I fell for it, but, it's going to be the last.
The website Jackson bought the toy from has been taken down. The website White bought her cream from has not. We reached out to them for a response, but have not heard back. Facebook said in its last enforcement report, it had removed 1.3 billion fake accounts from its platform. Anna Werner, CBS News, Berkeley, California.
Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If your Thanksgiving leftovers are looking sort of blah, it's time for a leftover makeover. No worries, it's so easy and you'll still have plenty of time to go shopping.
But first, Michael Hayslip returns with your complete forecast.
Tanya and I were kind of laughing during the morning show because part of our Insta poll was about how many people were going Black Friday shopping, and while many people said they were not, it then dawned on us it's because they weren't answering the Insta poll. You all were out Black Friday shopping. Wasn't too bad at all. I mean, we finally had the skies clear out, a whole lot of sunshine that's going to last for the entire afternoon, and here's why. We've got high pressure dominating really everything from us out to the west. Couple of specific high pressure systems all the way out to the Great Lakes. Now you transition east of the Mississippi or drop down to the southeastern portion of the United States. That's where we'll see the majority of the rain, flood warnings spanning all the way from the coast to the Florida Panhandle, and then a big low pressure system that still hangs over the northeastern portion of the United States. As a matter of fact, a little bit of what's left over from our thunderstorm activity that what we had here on Tuesday. Skywatch Storm Tracker, I tell you what, the jet stream, just an absolute mess this week. It's moved everywhere. Remember, right before we got our thunderstorm activity, we had the trough that now resides down on the border. Trough was right here in the span of one day. It moved into the Ozarks. It re-originated the next day, and instead of moving, it just dropped to the south. Now, positive aspect for it for us is it takes all that thunderstorm activity, forces it down to the southeast, and we find ourselves right there in that clear spot, which means really throughout the course of today and into tomorrow, we're going to be just fine. Big difference, though, is the way the wind acted this morning. About midnight, we saw a complete shift, coming off of a Thanksgiving where we had 63 degrees at Joplin Regional Airport. We then saw everything fall like dominoes. Watch the arrows just turn as we progressed through the morning. Then by the time we got past sunrise, everything was moving in from the north, and that's what's going to provide us with cooler temperatures, but actually quite seasonable. See Old Glory blowing in right there, coming in at 14 miles per hour and pretty comfortable 51 degrees. I mean, it's hard to complain about. Yeah, cooler than yesterday, but from everywhere from 49 to 55 in Anderson and Grove, not too bad for late November. So what we'll have is we'll ride the sunshine in mid-50s throughout the course of the day. The wind is going to increase a little bit this afternoon and evening. We'll see some 20-mile-per-hour gusts. And then overnight, because we've got the clear skies, we know what's going to happen. It's going to fall below freezing as we get ready for Saturday morning. Now, Saturday, no worries, we'll be just fine. What I do want to point out, though, is Saturday night, bottom left-hand portion of your screen. We start to see the rain originate there in Oklahoma. Won't be on us until early Sunday, and it'll stay pretty much for the central and southern portions of the 4 states. Farther north you go, you're going to remain dry, and it's not looking like anything severe, and it's a pretty quick hitter. We'll be done with this by about, say 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, clear out after that. And then, remember on Tuesday, it happens to be December 1. And Tanya and I were also talking about this earlier. I think the key factor for the turn of the calendar is to make sure those pipes are insulated, or if you want to let them drip, not sure, whatever your house requires. But look at this, consistent daily overnight lows that drop below the freezing point all the way into the middle of next week.
Yeah, definitely take care of those pipes. But enjoy the day temperatures. They're not too bad.
No, like I said, very seasonable. The funny thing is after our warm start to November, we're going to end up middle of the road by the time the month is over.
We can't complain there. All right, thanks, Michael. We take this time now to honor today's 4-state hero, Private First Class Robert Butler in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Iola, Kansas, joined the 5th Army in 1950. He served in Germany until 1952, earning the Army Occupation Medal. To Private Robert Butler, we thank you, our 4-state hero. If you've got leftover stuffing, leftover turkey, and some cranberry sauce, it's time to get poppin'. Howard shows us a tasty makeover recipe for your Thanksgiving leftovers in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. No matter what you have on tap today, whether it be taking advantage of all the Black Friday deals or vegging out on the couch, we have a way to turn yesterday's leftovers into a fun favorite that's way better than eating some plain old turkey sandwich. For this, all we do is flatten a package of refrigerated buttermilk biscuits so they're almost pie crust thin. On top of each biscuit, we put a healthy spoonful of stuffing or mashed potatoes, a bit of cranberry sauce, and some chunked up turkey. Then we fold the dough over the filling and place them seam side down on a baking sheet. We'll brush these with a beaten egg and into the oven they go until the filling is hot and the crust is golden. When these come out of the oven, your whole house will smell like Thanksgiving all over again. Maybe spoon some leftover gravy over each one before digging in. As always, you can find the recipe for our Thanksgiving leftover poppers online, just in time to make today's feast as memorable as yesterday's. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a magical way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
That turkey disappeared from what we had earlier. I'll be darned. High today of only 54 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Tanya pointing out, she's like, you got to get rid of the turkey, Michael. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Chilly headed into the weekend. We'll stay seasonable in the 50s. Next shot for rain early Sunday morning, south and central portions of the 4 states.
Well, coming up tonight at 5, sleep is critical for children's physical and mental health, but many kids just are not getting enough of it. And now a new sleep disorder is identified that is affecting children. Nancy Chin will join us to tell us what parents should look out for. Plus, the Salvation Army's iconic red kettles during the holiday season have helped families in need year-round. But the annual bell ringing campaign is facing new challenges with the coronavirus pandemic. And we kick off our annual KOAM Toy Box campaign. We're going to show you how Toy Box works and the changes we've made to accommodate for the pandemic this year. Join us for those stories and much more tonight on the KOAM News at 5.
All you have to do is log on to KOAMnewsnow.com. Thank you for joining us here at noon. Tanya and I will see you again Monday morning.
And the rest of the team will see you right back here at 5 o'clock.